Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.
Now the world is ready for you and the wonders you can do. Make a heart get down, stop a war with love, make a liar tell it true.
What's happening? Well, what's happening?
Is that a new hairstyle, Tony?
Oh God. You little bitch. Okay. Is it just, I don't know what's happening.
It's called the rooster.
That's a perfect segue, I guess. All right. Besides you little bitch, what is my favorite saying?
Go to go.
Yeah. Well, go to go for sure. What's another favorite saying of mine?
Oh my.
Pull that hair back. You're 2 for 2 over there. Yes, pull that hair back. Girls with bangs. Any other saying? You know what I mean? Yes, you guys, you got to work a little bit harder. It has to do with what I teach you all. Let's take out this book for a second because it's in the last chapter of the book. How do I get out of my own way? Let me count the ways. And I give you 25 ways to get out of your way. But one of them, number 5, is fake it until you make it. Right? Now here, wait. This is blowing my mind. Now there's all this science behind it because when I wrote this, there was already science behind it. But now, it's like, yes, there's all this more and more. Every week, I'm like, I can't keep up with all the science that is sort of confirming all the things that we're trying to understand and apply. This is going to blow, well, it blew my mind. I don't know if it's going to blow your mind. But, so there is a Harvard social psychologist named Amy Cuddy who talks about how our bodies change our minds, and then our minds can change our behavior, and that it will affect how people perceive you, but it also creates an internal chemical change. And this is what we're kind of going for, because if we can, what I'm always teaching is if we can get to the atomic structure of who we are, if we can go internal and create the change there, what's going to happen? Out here, things are going to change. Things are going to change. People are going to perceive you in a different way. Jobs are going to line up in a different way. Synchronicities are going to occur in your life. Lots of quote-unquote miracles, magical things. You're at the right place at the right time, right? Things kind of open up. So in her studies, she's talking about behavior, physical behavior, and about body posturing. And that every animal in the animal kingdom pretty much shows, including human beings, shows signs of this, but we're often sort of unconscious of what it means. And she talks about she talks about 2 states. There is a high power pose, maybe you've heard this before, and a low power pose. And when you assume a high power pose, it releases those for 2 minutes. If you can assume a high power pose for 2 minutes, the research has borne it out. It releases those chemicals within you that lead you to those states of being that I'm always talking about, that we're really trying to access. And in the high power pose, she talks about 2 things. One is it accelerates your testosterone level. So you don't have to worry about it, females. It's not like you're going to become she-male just by having a 2-minute power pose. It also decreases your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. Now think about this in terms of auditioning, or being on set, or being in the job. Or in this case, she used studies where they felt like the cross-section that most represented stressful situations for most people were job interviews. Okay? And in these studies, it was a blind study, the people that assumed a high power pose consistently outscored and were given the quote-unquote job than those people who had assumed a low power pose. And here's what's blowing my mind about it, is these were her words. She says that those people, they were bringing their true selves to the job interview. And she said it's not the content of the speech, it wasn't the structure of the speech, or how good the speech was. She says it's all based on presence, and with that came the characteristics of confidence, passion, enthusiasm, authenticity, comfortability, being captivating. So what if you thought about this in terms of your auditioning? You don't, because you go into the audition and without you knowing it, you have assumed what I'm doing right now. You're assuming a low power pose. You're here with your sides. You're here with your phone. You're here with your thoughts. You're closed off. And the research shows that this set state of being does not give you access to what she's talking about, this state of presence that's available in a high power pose. So why don't we all just do a high power pose for 1 second. I'm going to give you a few. Stand up. It's really easy. See how easy breezy we can like tap into ourselves? So one way is Wonder Woman. Yes, maybe take your feet apart and just take a breath. So what would happen instead of sitting in the audition room like this?
Stand in the middle.
What if you, what if you went and like, I'm here to audition? No. What if you went into the bathroom, or you just went outside, or you found a space for yourself where you were living in your own power pose? Here's one example. That's one. Another one is like this. Be careful, don't knock out the person next to you. Yes. Another one is you can even be higher. Yes, your legs are apart. Take another breath. Am I showing a navel? Oh my God.
It's not on camera.
Right? Okay. The thing that she's trying to say is it's not about going in and doing that. It's about creating this dynamic within your body first, so that actually chemically and hormonally, you're going into a space or a meeting or an audition or in relationship where that stuff is already happening. It's happening at the cellular level, people. That's exciting to know. These things are all available to us. They are. What they require is just shifting. Just shifting. Constantly shifting the paradigms of who you think you are and what you think is possible for you. So, that's all. I think that's all I have to say today about just a different way of thinking about faking it until you make it. Which maybe I should just come back to that, because that's one of her big things, is sometimes, you guys, you're not going to feel like that. Or maybe you always feel like that, right? I don't know, but sometimes you're not going to feel like that. You're having a day where, or you're having to speak to a bunch of people, or you're having to go into an audition room, and the first response is like that. Her whole philosophy that is borne out in research is if you continue to fake it, you'll eventually make it, and you'll become it. Which is what I've talked about. You fake it until you make it, and then you look back and you realize, oh my God, I'm actually doing it. I'm doing it. The thing that I didn't think that I could do, oh my God, I'm actually living it now. But sometimes that takes a little bit of, you gotta fake it. You gotta fake it. Okay?